everybody, Dan Illman, Mike here, the DRF race of the day for Thursday, July the 20th, race number 10 at Saratoga, an edition of the New York Stallion Series. This is the Calloway division for the boys, going a mile on the inner turf, New York State sired. Let's take a peek at this field. Please click or scan the QR code for race of the day access on your mobile devices, which includes free Formulator Pass performances and Ramblin' Wreck. The number 7 just beat 4 of these last time out. And how much the best was he after missing the break?
He really was much the best in that race off the layoff, Dan, just charging from the back to run that field over with a new top figure. He had potential at 2. He looked really good off the layoff. He might have even more pace in front of him this time. There's a lot to like.
Now we'll stretch out back around 2 turns. That's not a problem for Ramblin' Wreck. He won his maiden in his second lifetime start, stretching from 6 to a mile and a 16th, and he'll benefit if this time form U.S. pace projector holds true. Red bar, fast pace, and we know he likes to rally from off of it. The 7 Ramblin' Wreck. The 2, it's all coming together, should show some stretch out speed, breaking from an inside post, Mike. Vacation Dance to me is more of a stalker, although perhaps the stretch out in distance will instill a little bit more speed. It'll be interesting to see exactly how fast they go, but the pace should be solid enough.
I thought it would be solid too. You're right, though. I mean, I guess it doesn't really have to really get heated up that much in the early stages. I do kind of feel like maybe the 4 Vacation Dance could be the key to that whole thing. He doesn't need to be forward, but they might want him there, Dan. His better races have come when they've used his speed, and they did not do that last time in the spectacular bid division of this race. They tried to take a hold of this horse and sit behind as that field came into the stretch, and he just didn't really kick that hard.
Big price on the fastest time form U.S. late pace rating performer. That's the 8 Mama Band Me, and I know that because the LP flag over the chicklet of the number 5. We'll start things off with the 1 Gem Mint 10. This horse was beaten last time out by Ramblin' Wreck in the New York Stallion Series, was cutting back to 7 furlongs. This horse did win its 6 3 starts back, a really good inside post. I think Dylan Davis can give this one a good pace tracking, ground saving trip. I think there is a question if he's good enough, but with the right trip, I think you can get a piece at a decent price.
I kind of agree with all that stuff. I'm not sure that he's good enough, but I do think he's okay on turf. Since they switched him over, I think he's certainly gotten better, Dan. I, personally didn't think he had an excuse. 2 starts back. He ran fine in that race. He got a relatively strong figure for it. He was only second best. Last time, I just feel like it was kind of hard to tell. They rated him. He saved a lot of ground, but he was just in behind horses through most of the stretch run. It was hard to tell if he really had a ton of horse. I'm not sure that he actually did, but he really never did come clear in that race.
The number 2 is It's All Coming Together, who took Maiden's Gate to Wire 2 starts back, and in his most recent start was up close to the pace in that New York Stallion Series race. The pace wasn't necessarily blazing, but it was somewhat contested, and he ran on well to be 3rd. I expect aggressive tactics from post position too, and again, if the favorite misses the break again, this race all of a sudden turns wide open, and It's All Coming Together with a potential pace edge could be there a long way.
Yeah, I think you have to like his speed in this race, and we'll see how comfortable they let him get up there when he broke his maiden 2 back going this 1 mile distance. They just turned him loose in that race. Nobody went with him, and he sort of got control and was able to hold on. Last time, I thought he ran fine, Dan. He did his best in there. He just wasn't quite good enough, and the 1-2 finishers, they were just flat out better than him in there. We'll see if he can make the gap a little closer this time.
The number 3 is Laurel Valley, and he has some work to do because he's still a maiden coming into this race. But if you're looking for the angle, it's trainer Michael Maker stretching a horse out in distance. We see it all the time when he does it on turf. These horses seem to take strides forward. Laurel Valley seems to be racing himself back into shape in his 3rd start of the form cycle.
Yeah, he tried pretty hard last time. He was up in class for that race, and he wasn't quite good enough. But, man, did he try hard in there and wound up finishing an okay 4th. I thought his win 2 starts back came in a race that set up pretty well for him. They went a solid pace in front of him. He came running, and he just couldn't quite get the job done in there. But he ran okay. He's going to have to improve again.
You mentioned the 4 Vacation Dance as a potential pace player, and he won a stakes race last year sprinting under Kendrick Carmouche when able to go right to the front. And I have a feeling they're going to try to utilize those tactics again after the rating job didn't work last time out when 4th behind Ramblin' Wreck. Distance to me is a big question mark for this horse.
Boy, we look at this horse the exact same way, Dan. I think he's kind of better on the early lead. I also think he just might be better sprinting. I'm not sure that stretching out another furlong really helps him in here. It didn't work out last time when they tried to rate him, and he just didn't finish that hard. I think his best chance is if they can get forward with him, be part of this pace, be right up there when this field turns into the stretch, then maybe he can hold on.
Mama Band Me is the number 5, and this horse has really improved since being given blinkers. He'll now make his first start off of the claim, and as we saw in the pace projector, he has the fastest time form U.S. late pace rating. He's taking a pretty big step up in class. He's going to hope for a barbecue and a pace collapse.
He is. I don't know if it's going to set up that well for him, and he's probably going to have to improve anyway. I will say that this horse, I'm a fan of this horse. That he ran way better than it looks in his first 2 turf starts. He didn't win either one. Those trips were not good ones in either of those races. So they dropped him in class. He won easy. He ran fine last time against another field of claimers. They're going to move him way up here off the claim, but he's probably better than he looks.
Another horse that was claimed out of his most recent race is the 6, Willin' to Risk It All, who graduated in his turf debut going 7/8 of a mile. And he ran hard from start to finish in this race. He broke from the inside post. He went 22 flat for the opening quarter, then 22 and change the second quarter. And he's still digging all the way down to the wire. That's Laurel Valley on the outside, who is in this race for Makers stretching out. Laurel Valley's got all the momentum, but Willin' to Risk It All refuses to lose.
Yeah, you got to give him a little extra credit for this win because he won a solid pace up front, and it did feel like Laurel Valley had his number there in the final furlong. He wouldn't let that horse get by, and then he wound up catching the bob at the end. It was a good performance. He's going to have to run better than that against this field.
Here's the 7, Ramblin' Wreck. And remember, in your formulator past performances, click on the short comment. You get to watch the entire replay. Ramblin' Wreck had a disastrous break, fell far behind, turned into the stretch. It's not like they were running and gunning up front. The half is 46-1, but Ramblin' Wreck comes widest, he comes fastest, and he wins comfortably at the end.
Yeah, he's just going to come running in this race and go right over the top of this field. And he's actually going to do it under strong handling, man. That's 26 black in the red right in front of him. Down on the inside, it's all coming together. But they just can't stop this horse. He's coming too hard at the end. He wins really easily. This horse was really good on turf as a 2-year-old last year. He took a pretty significant step forward in that race that we just watched right there. He's way the horse to beat.
26 Black was simply second best in the race we just saw, although I thought he did some good things. He was hung out 4 wide on the backstretch, made a first move to make the lead, and we just saw him get run over in the stretch. There's a good chance that Ramblin' Wreck is simply a better horse. 26 Black might have a bit more tactical speed, and maybe if he can save a bit more ground, could turn the tables.
Yeah, I think all those things are very valid points to make for this horse. Dan, he's got talent. All of his turf races are good. He ran fine last time. He just happened to be second best at the end. You know, is he going to be better stretching out around 2 turns? I think that remains to be seen. I have my questions, but this horse can run. He's good.
And Jackson Heights completes the field. He's entered main track only. He's already a stakes winner on the dirt, and he'd be very, very tough, obviously, if this race is forced from the turf to the dirt. Before we take a look at our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for the latest DRF videos. Time for our top pick. We close out the Saratoga Thursday card with the Calloway division of the New York Stallion Series. Ramblin' Wreck is simply the horse to beat.
Yeah, I think he is the horse to beat. I'm not going to go against him here, Dan. I just think he might be the best horse in the race. And, you know, we'll see. I don't stretch it out around 2 turns. It's really not supposed to be a problem for him in this race. I'm going to take him. I'm going to bring that exacta right back from the spectacular bid, 7-8.
I'm going to try to upend him with 26 Black. I'm hoping to once again get the jump on Ramblin' Wreck, and I'm hoping, and it is a question mark, that 26 Black appreciates this extra distance this time around. 7814 for Mike, 8742 for me. It's the DRF race of the day, the Calloway division of the New York Stallion Series. Good luck.